Good morning. I think we are recording. It's saying recording, so fingers crossed. So good morning. Welcome to another Vibrant Life, Vibrant Conversation. I'm Elizabeth Williams, and this morning I have the absolute pleasure of having a conversation with a very vibrant woman, Jacqueline Cadger. I met Jacqueline, I think it was January this year, and was really inspired. You know, there are people in life whom you meet, and their energy is contagious. It's uplifting. And I don't mean in the way that when you spend time with them, you feel it and then it doesn't last. There is something that happens when I'm in Jacqueline's company, that it's almost like a resonance that happens, and a little spark in me ignites, and it reminds me of what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's what I mean by her energy is contagious. It's inspiring because it has that ability to just remind you of your own best self. So Jacqueline is, excuse me, I am quite croaky still this morning, so you'll excuse me if I cough or croak. Jacqueline is a lifestyle and spiritual coach who works with people to connect to their magic so that they can create a life of abundance. And I can think of no better description. That's just perfect. So good morning and welcome, Jacqueline.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for that description of me. I felt quite emotional there. That was so lovely.
That's exactly what happens. That's your superpower, in my opinion. That is your gift. And so, yeah, it's perfect, absolutely perfect that you are doing what you're doing. So would you like to start just by telling a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, so yeah, my name's Jacqueline. I live in Scotland. It's very cold here today. So yeah, I'm a spiritual and lifestyle coach. I love working with people, you know, that are kind of just stuck and just kind of forgot who they were, disconnected. Because we go through life, don't we? We go and we get the job, or we get married, or we get partners, or we do whatever. We get the kids, and we get the house, we get the car. And we do what we're supposed to do, what we think we're meant to be doing. And then, you know, people get to a point and they go, well, what's next? Is this it? No, and then they kind of realize, actually, I've been doing all these things that I meant to do, but it wasn't actually what I wanted to do. You know, and it's just about connecting back to who we actually want to be and being true to ourselves. Because we're quite bad habits of being people pleasers and putting everybody else first instead of ourselves. So yeah, I love helping people just, you know, knowing that it's not selfish to put yourself first and be who you truly want to be.
So what brought you to that realization?
So I went on my own journey. I used to live in Vietnam, and I was, you know, working in an education center, businesswoman, education, running my own classes. I was here, there, everywhere. I was part of the international theatre group. You know, I was hustle bustle, and I loved it. You know, I loved that energy. And that was me. You know, I was always creating, very powerful. And then I planned to move to another country. I'd been offered a job in Beijing. And then I fell pregnant. And I wasn't with my son's dad at that time. So it was kind of a massive curveball. So I thought, okay, this has happened for a reason. I will move back home and have my child. So I moved back home. And yeah, nobody would employ me because I was 5.5 months pregnant. I tried to get a job. The money that I'd saved up for coming home with to get me started all went onto a house that I'd rented out because I had a tenant that decided to stop paying rent. So yeah, all my money went. I was told I couldn't go in the benefit system because I had been out of the country too long. So I had all this stuff going on, and it was just so hard. And I just totally lost who I was. I didn't have my career anymore. And I was just at home in my mum's house. I had to go back and live with my parents. And yeah, and I had all this time. And then even after I had my baby, and people kept saying to me, like, what have you done today? And I would say, nothing. I've done nothing. They go, you've been looking after a baby. You've done something.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see it. I'd been so attached to this busy life. And that's what I needed, you know, so I had to find out who I was again. You know, and it was really interesting because when my son's dad moved back as well, you know, we said we would give it a go, but he actually lived in a different city. He was about 2.5 hours away. And everyone kept saying to me, you know, go live with him. Let him look after you. You can find yourself down there. And I said, no, I said, I've got to find out who I am first and this new version of me before I can commit to anybody else. I got to know who I am.
That is so good. So many people would have taken the easy road.
Yeah. Because I could have went down there and, you know, we got on great. He's very respectful. You know, he would have looked after me. He would have let me by myself. But then, and, you know, in the long run, it didn't work out between us. So that would have still happened. And then I would have had to start all over again. I thought, no, I have to find who I am in this situation. You know, I need to find out who I am because I was lost, you know. I need to know who I am, what makes me happy, what I need to do to get control back of my life and what works for me. And then, you know, if this relationship works, then that's great, you know, but it wasn't about me then going off to do the easy option, as you said. And so during that time, I think the biggest thing for me was about being content, because obviously I was so used to doing all these like job and projects, and I had to learn that I couldn't do that just now. But, you know, it didn't mean I was never going to do it. So I had to be content that, you know what, I was taking care of a child. That was a big thing.
Absolutely.
You know, and I was content that was a great achievement every day. I kept that alive every day. He's a lovely, happy boy. He's now. Then the next thing for me was, as you know, we start discovering ourselves. We find things that we don't like, and old things come up. And I had lots of challenges. And then I discovered the next thing for me was gratitude.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it massive?
Yeah. I was spiraling at some points, because we do, when we're in a negative space, we spiral it and these thoughts come out, don't they? And we start telling ourselves the most awful things. And they just come from nowhere, you know? We're not sitting here going, right, for half an hour, I'm going to say something really mean to myself. We could be washing dishes and they come in and we're like, oh yeah, why did I do that stupid thing today? And so I learned how to catch the thought and just change it to be more grateful. And then I started getting more into spirituality. Now, spirituality for me is about, again, connecting to who you are, your spirit. So yeah, I went on this huge journey, and then I just, you know, I wanted to start kind of sharing it with other people. I had done coaching in the past. So I started, you know, I started my own little group. I started doing universal cards with people. I hosted a little group coaching session just before the lockdown. And, you know, I started building it up slowly, and I was like, I got something to offer here.
You have.
Yeah. And it's just grown and grown and grown. And I couldn't be more grateful.
There you go. That gratitude is so underestimated, isn't it?
Yeah. And when I first started doing it was strange, because I was catching negative thoughts and I was just saying thank you. And at that time, I wasn't even grateful. It was just a distraction. And I just said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, till I got rid of that thought. And then the thank yous, actually, I started to feel thankful. And then that then became, hold on, what have I actually got else in my life to be thankful for? And there was everything. You know, it got to the point where I was waking up every day thankful because I got to wake up.
Yep.
Yeah. You know,
was there a book that inspired you? Was it Pam Grout's Thank and Grow Rich, for example? Oh,
my friend actually gave me a book years ago, and it was The Secret. And that was kind of what started to get me into the spiritual side. And then there was another book, Ask and It Shall Be Given. And they have an exercise in it called the Appreciation Game.
Right.
And that ramped everything up for me. And just having all these, like, you know, the gratitude, being content, connecting to me, catching negative thoughts. You know, I went on from that woman that was, you know, pregnant in her mom's spare room, no job, no benefits even. And now, 6 years later, I have, about 2 or 3 now businesses. I've got my house, my son is happy, and I'm back to doing those things that I'm doing. I've got a drama business, I've got my coaching business, I do the universal cards as well. And it's just amazing, Back then, I couldn't see that. And that's why I always say to people, when we go through these times, it's just that time. It's not forever. There's always a path which is leading us to the result that we want.
Yeah.
If we're open to it. But when we're shutting ourselves off and we're boo-hoo, my life's rubbish, I've got nothing to be grateful for, we're missing the signs.
Yes. Yeah, that's so true. Funny enough, I was awake in the night and I started listening to some things, Diana Cooper and Tim Wilde. Oh no, tell a lie. It was when I was listening to Laurie Ladd, and she was saying something that really resonated with me. She said, you have to trust that inner knowing. She said, true sovereignty is not, she said, yes, of course, if you want to run something by somebody, a friend or family member, it's okay to say, I was thinking about blah, blah, blah. What do you think? But don't be guided by that person's opinion, because they are not you. They don't have they don't have your history, they don't have your personality, they don't have your life path. She said, sure, if you want to listen to those things, but come back to that. It's all inside you. And she said, your higher self will not take you by the hand and say, oh, look, here's your path, and you go down here and you turn right there. The higher self will say, well, hold your hand and take you.
Yeah.
Next step. And you won't see. You have to trust. And that's kind of what you've done. You've really done that.
We have to trust ourselves, our power, and our intuition. And we don't, and we do, don't we? We go and ask people what they think and what they would do. And it's almost like sometimes when it's a little bit of fear as well, because when we know something's right for us, we're kind of, maybe they'll put me off.
Yes.
We ask people, and they can give us advice as a friend, and sometimes it's not the best advice, because maybe something's coming out of them that maybe they're jealous that they're not getting to do that, or they work for them. I remember a really funny story before I went to go do one of my coaching programs. I mean, it was a huge investment. I really didn't have the money at the time, but I was trying to not make that my belief. It came to me for a reason. I thought, this is for me, I'm going to make it work. And I had that little, maybe I should ask somebody. And no word of a lie, I went to phone my mum, because I knew what I had thought. When I phone her and tell her, she's going to say, well, you're not working just now, it's lockdown. I thought she was going to put me off. And thankfully, my lovely mum said, I believe in you, go do it. Yeah. And that's why I think sometimes we go ask people, because we're just not trusting ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you experience your intuition, do you feel it physically, or where do you feel it? How do you feel it? Because we do feel it differently.
Yeah, I get both. For my intuition, I get just thoughts in my head, and you get that good and bad feeling, don't you? Mm-hmm. And thankfully I get both. But I definitely, the strongest one for me is the thoughts. Right. Like something will come in for my intuition. And sometimes it's hard for people to differentiate, because we're thinking all the time, aren't we?
Yes.
The thoughts are not the best. Or we're an autopilot. I need to do the washing, I need to get this from the shop,
Yeah.
Or we're telling ourselves just rubbish.
Yeah.
But every so often you get this random thought, don't you? Like, go for a coffee, go for a walk.
Yes.
Read that book. And we just overlook them because we just associate them with the autopilot or the rubbish thoughts. But it's these little random little sparks of electricity that we get that we have to pay attention to.
Yeah. They're subtle.
And do it. It's like an exercise, isn't it? So the more you do it, the stronger it gets. And you go, oh, that was my intuition there.
Yeah.
Instead of disregarding it.
Yeah. Yes, I think a lot of people expect the big obvious neon sign, this way. But it's not like that, is it? You're right, it's subtle.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something we really have to, well, I think anyway, we have to feel into.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I know
Yeah.
what happens. Yeah.
You know what they made me laugh there was when you said like big neon signs, you know, the amount of people I work with and they go, I just want to find myself, and it's like, that's great, but they feel like there's going to be like a full stop. They're going to have that moment and it's going to be like, you know, they're going to have like euphoria and they're like, oh, I'm zen, I found myself. Like, it doesn't work like that, because you find yourself and then there's something else to discover, you know. But the thing is, we keep growing and we keep learning. As soon as you stop, then what's the point?
Exactly.
And you're just surviving.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever our beliefs are about whether we live one life or several lives, it's irrelevant. Point is, we're here right now in this life.
Yeah.
We absolutely in every moment have the opportunity and the choice, don't we, to make, and it's, yeah, it's like, no matter what's going on around you, as you discovered when you were that single mum in your mum and dad's house, new baby, no benefits, no money, you're right, you could have gone down so many paths, so many, that there were not even just two open to you, but you chose the one.
Yeah.
And we're doing that every moment of every day. You're right. It's not a matter of discovering yourself and then suddenly you sit back on the sofa and, oh, well, that's sorted.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the minute you step onto the spiritual, if we want to call it that, the spiritual path or the development path, that's when things get really interesting and really testing. And
challenging. And it's funny, I actually essentially we create what's happening to us by the way we behave. And when I came back home and I was in that place, you know, I've got to start again, I need to find myself. And then after about 9 months, my son was 9 months, I set up my drama business. But years before, I had been saying to people, if I ever move back home, I'm going to create a drama business and I'm going to call it Dramatics Club. And I'm going to do classes in small areas, never thinking I would move back home. If I move back home, and then I ended up back home and I was like, what do I do? And I was, hold on. I used to say I was going to do this years ago. I need to do it. And it was really funny because I kept trying to come up with a name. And I was like, trying to think of a really quirky name, you know, because they say to come up with a name that stands out.
Yeah.
I was coming up with all these crazy names like Jumping Jack's Drama, Sonic Sandwich Drama. And I was like, hold on. I used to say I always call it Dramatics Club. Why am I not trusting?
You were going to call it what? What's it called?
Oh, I was going to call it Jumping Jack's Drama.
No. What was the original name? Sorry.
Dramatics Club.
Just that. Yes.
Yeah. And that's its name now. And I thought, why am I trying to change it? I said for years that's what I was going to do. And now it's still running. I still do that. It's funny because I obviously put that out there.
Yep.
I put that out there. That's going to happen, even though that wasn't my plan. I created it. Yeah. So you got to be aware of what you're saying now. Yeah. And that's why we're kind of like, poor me, nothing ever great happens for me. Well, that's what you're creating. Yep. You know, I always say to people, you got to wake up every day in hopeful expectancy. We're playing the lottery of life. Some days you win, some days you lose, but you keep playing. But you remember in my introduction, I said, and I really do mean this, about that resonance that happens with you. Sometimes we meet people, or some people meet some people who seem to have found the secret of life for themselves. And all we feel is, oh, yeah, it's all right for them. Look, you know, they can do this, or feel envy or jealousy. But as I said, your superpower is igniting that in another, so that it leaves you feeling, yeah, I can do that. And so I think you have found at the moment the perfect job for you. I really do. And a couple of weeks ago we were speaking and you told me that a new opportunity has presented itself to you, and you were saying at the time, I have no idea where this is going to lead. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm going to do it anyway. And if it works out, that's great. If it doesn't, I will have learned something. And I was so taken by that attitude. I thought, yeah, some people would go into, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or, oh no, what about this? What about that? But you just grabbed it and said, even if it's not for me, it's come for a reason and I will learn something. Yeah. Yeah, it was so funny the day that opportunity got presented. I was actually at one of my jobs, and I'm quite free to, work and listen. So I decided to listen to a podcast. And there was a specific company that I often listen to, and I thought, I'll listen to that one today.
Sure.
And I'm scrolling through their podcast, and I thought, okay, I'll listen to this one. Just random, just going with it, being connected to me, trusting my intuition. And I listened to it, and it just, everything in that podcast just so resonated with me. And I was just like, the energy was up afterwards. I thought, wow.
Yeah.
And then that electric spark, that thought, I thought, you should do a post on their page. And I hadn't posted anything on that page in months. And then, and then the other thoughts creep in. Well, why would you? And I thought, no, I had that little thought for a reason. So you do it. And I put a post on that company page. And then as I was driving home, I missed a call from them. And it turned out, while I posted that, they were actually speaking about me to share this opportunity. And so that's why I was like, hold on, this wasn't what I was looking for. This is what I wasn't expecting, but it's come for a reason.
Yeah.
That's synchronicity. You can't argue with that.
No. But I think that's wonderful. So it's that listening, trusting, listening, following. Because at the end of the day, what's the worst that could have happened?
Yeah,
you wouldn't have been right.
The smallest thing. I had a friend message me once, and I used to tell her like this, follow those random little thoughts, the good ones, that are just like gonna come from nowhere. And she thought it one day, and it said, go for a walk. So she said, oh yeah, I'll go for the walk. And she went for the walk, and she bumped into an old work colleague, and they ended up catching up. They had coffee, and she was looking for a job at the time. She said, oh, there's a place, there's an opening at my place, come apply. And she was like, wow, I'm so glad I went for that walk.
Exactly.
Yeah, even just the smallest things. I remember once I was driving home, and it popped into my head, go to B&M. And I'm not the type of person, I don't just pop into shops for a nosy, I know what I need to get, I'm in and I'm out. And I thought, what? Okay, I'm going into B&M. And so I went in, and I'm walking around, and I'm like, why am I here? Why am I walking around this shop? And I thought, oh, actually, you need some new garden furniture. Let's go have a look. And there wasn't anything. And I thought, okay, no, there's a reason why I'm here. And then I walked down one aisle, and I just happened to notice there was a mattress topper, and it was reduced down to like £20 or something. And it was the same one I'd just been on a couple of days ago online. I had it in the shopping cart, a way to buy. It was double the price. And I hesitated. I was like, I just don't feel right buying this, as I'm not going to buy it. And then a few days later, there's my intuition. It was in B&M, and I got it for half the price. I thought, that's why I'm here. I'm here for that mattress topper.
Yes. Funny enough, I had a fun thing happen a few weeks back. It was a Saturday, and it was a nice day, and I'd gone down into town, and we have a market on a Saturday. But I also love charity shops. I am a second-hand rose. I love charity shops. Yeah, so I've been to the market, and then I went through all the charity shops. And there is one very close by to the market, which was the first one I'd been into. And so I wandered around town, did the charity shops, chatted to people, had a lovely time. I was just on my way back to the car, and this little voice came into my head, go back into the hospice shop. And I was like, what? Why? I've been in there, I've looked. And I went in. As I walked in, there hanging was a brand new Helly Hansen ski jacket in my size for £8. And I thought, aha, that's why I'm here. And it hadn't been out earlier, because obviously they're busy out in the back putting stuff out.
Yeah.
And I could just so easily have dismissed that.
Yeah.
But no, I thought, aha. So yeah, that's just a small thing, but it was just delightful.
Yeah. And they're just like little light bulb moments, aren't they? They just come, and we're so quick to just dismiss it. Yeah. Because we're so used to the record being not very nice or autopilot. So when we get these little intuition, we dismiss it and just assume it's just still their nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. And they can lead you anywhere. Like me following my intuition led me to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. I was at home one night, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit tipsy. I was sat at home, and it just came. I thought, right, if you've not met the man of your dreams or been promoted at work in a year, you're going overseas. you're gone. And I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. Okay. And then I thought, because I'm a bit of an action taker and I'm very impulsive, I started sending my CV that night to companies around the world. I think there was like obviously Vietnam, I think there was Canada, I think there was Mexico, yeah, all over.
Yeah.
And all I did was attach my CV and I put in the email, I'm considering moving overseas in the near future. I didn't say a year. And said, I was wondering if my skill set was suitable for a company like yours. I didn't think anything of it. I ended up living in Vietnam 6 weeks later.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy.
Yes. Be careful what you wish for. Well, it wasn't even a wish, really, actually.
I thought I was going to go to Canada.
Okay.
So, you know, the thing is, when we can put it out there what we would like, but we have to be open and trusting that sometimes it comes not as what we had hoped for, but it's what we're meant to get.
Yes. 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 I think we can fall into the trap of thinking, right, when whatever comes, it's got to be in this box, it's got to be that color, it's got to be that shape, that size. And the universe is kind of looking at us going, but you don't want that. We've got a much bigger, much more spectacular, sparky box for you. But you're going, no, it's got to be like that.
Yeah, you block yourself when you do that.
Yeah, we do. We just block.
And then we miss the breadcrumbs because we're like, well, actually, here's this amazing opportunity, but it's not exactly as I want it. So no. So there was me wanting Canada in a year's time. I ended up in Vietnam, which then led me to falling pregnant with my son, which led me to creating that drama business I always said I had.
Yes.
Which then led to tough times, but I discovered myself, and then it led to me speaking to you here today.
It is just phenomenal. Yeah. I believe there are infinite possibilities out there. I remember years ago, I was living in the New Forest, and I was thinking of moving, and I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I looked around, I traveled a lot and looked at lots of different places. And funnily enough, a lot of them began with B for some reason. And I knew what I wanted in terms of a building. I wanted a cottage. I wasn't living in a cottage at the time. I was living in a former council house. And I drew my idea of a cottage. Now, I am no artist. I am like a 5-year-old. So it was this little house with a path going up the middle and little windows. Anyway, I put it out to the universe. And one day, a friend of mine who had lived in the New Forest and had moved to this place called Shaftesbury, she just had a new baby. She said, oh, come over and see the baby. So I went to Shaftesbury. I'd never even heard of Shaftesbury. No idea where it was. And went there, and we were having a little wander around. She was pushing a pram, and I thought, this is interesting. I could live here. That's interesting. Went into an estate agent, and I only ever viewed one house, which is the house I bought. It was picture perfect. It was like a Jane Austen, roses round the door cottage.
Oh, beautiful.
And a couple of years later, I was fiddling around in my office, pulled out a notebook, and there was the drawing. The drawing. Is it in this one? Yes. My childlike drawing of my house. And I looked at it and I went, oh my God, that is my house.
You created it.
The only thing that is not right about it is there wasn't a path up the garden. But me being a little 5-year-old had thought, all houses have a path up. There wasn't. But I looked at it and I thought, my God, I drew it. I drew it.
You created your home.
I did.
You got it.
And I've been looking in all these places to live. I never heard of Shaftesbury. And if I hadn't have gone to see her, or she hadn't have moved there, and I hadn't have gone to visit, etc., etc., etc. And it was that one house, and the minute I saw it, I knew it was the one I wanted.
You got led there.
Absolutely.
The universe was like, she wants this house. Okay, we have to get her to there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. So when you have people come to you, is there amongst the clients who are drawn to you, is there often a common theme, would you say? I'm not saying break confidences, but would you say there's a common theme that leads people to you?
I find that the people that come to me, the common thing is that they're kind of just not like depressed or anxiety, they're just kind of stuck in negativity, and they just want to break out that pattern. And I think sometimes when they see kind of my positivity, they're like, how do you get that?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's not easy, and you can't do it every day. People say to me, you can't be positive every day. I say, of course you can't, yin and yang. But we have to have those times when we're lower and things aren't going well to, realize, appreciate, actually I need to get back over there. Life's much more interesting when I'm on that side. Yeah. But we have to go through these tough times because that's when we grow as well.
Yes.
And sometimes we get these energies that are low, and we've got negative thoughts, and sometimes sit with it. Ask yourselves, why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening? And then you just got to go deep with yourself, and then you'll get an answer. Okay, I'm like, it happened to me was it earlier this year, last year? Anyway, it was in lockdown, and I hit really bad financial times, and I rent my house, and it was getting to the point where I thought, I can't afford the rent of this house anymore. And I broke down, and and I cried for 3 hours, and I'm not a big crier. And eventually I sat and I thought, right, this isn't me sitting crying about this. I thought, why am I so upset? Because I'm in a situation I don't want to be. So why is that really upsetting me? Because my finances aren't where I want them to be. Why is that really upsetting me? Because that's not how I see me in my life. That's not the vision. Right, I need to step into the vision. And so I turned it around, dusted myself off, and got back up, and I thought, right, I need to start finding solutions to get to there instead of being stuck in the problems. And sometimes when we have those dark times or the lower times, we have to go through that to remind ourselves of our power and what we can do.
Yeah.
But that takes skill, because a lot of people, they believe it. Oh yeah, this is happening, and this always happens to me, and it doesn't have to. You can choose to step into your power and find solutions instead of focusing on the problems. But it's hard. It is really hard.
And you're right, that pattern of this always happens to me. If you put that message out to the universe goes, oh, okay, then this always happens. Yeah. And I think these things often come up again and again. The universe is going, do you think this time she might get it?
Yeah.
In the hope that you will go, actually, no.
I've met a lot of negative Nellies. And they go on and they go on, and I say, how's life working out for you with that attitude? But the thing is, they're so stuck in that pattern. And then when they try to change it, obviously, our program is so set, it fights them, and then so they give up. And then they turn around and they say to me, oh, I tried that positivity stuff, it doesn't work. Is that because you stopped?
Yes.
It's almost like starting a diet. How many times people start diets and they give up and they give up? When you want to change and be more positive and be more hopeful in life and be more powerful and be a creator, it's a habit. It's a lifestyle habit.
Yes.
You've got to keep doing it.
Yeah, you can't just do it for a couple of days and go, well, that didn't work.
That one again.
Yeah.
Let me go try mindfulness now, or let me go try this.
Yeah.
Keep doing it every day.
Yeah, people often say in many different respects, but if they're unwell, let's say, and you say, well, and the doctors can't do anything. So you say, well, have you tried any complementary therapies or an alternative way of looking at it? Oh, I've tried everything. And you go, no, you probably haven't. But yeah.
It's just a story they've created. I've tried everything. And then when you actually, okay, well, what? Or they tried something once.
Yeah. And they haven't stuck at it. Yeah. It's, I tried dieting for a day and I'm still overweight. So.
That's something I will say to people. I say, when it comes to like your mindset, when you walk into a gym because you want to get fit, you don't walk out after one session with a six pack.
No.
Mindset. It's a muscle. We've got to keep training it.
Yeah. So what would you say if you had to sum up your attitude to life, your attitude to your work, because they are for you very definitely intertwined? What would you say is the key? What for you is?
Yeah, for me, my thing is my energy. I really like to make sure that my energy is there each day. And obviously some days it's not. I don't give myself a hard time about it when it's not, because we do that, don't we? We're having an off day. Oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. You're having an off day, have an off day. But yeah, for me, it's my energy. Like, I choose to wake up every day and tell myself I'm a badass warrior. I choose to wake up every day in hopeful expectancy that, today is going to be a good day. And we don't do it. Sometimes people wake up and they go, oh, I wonder what's going to happen today. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen today. And some days it might be bad, and some days it might be great. But I choose that. I choose it to be a great day. And if it's bad, okay, that wasn't a great day. Tomorrow's a new chapter. I keep turning the page. I don't get stuck on the same chapter. So yeah, for me, it's all about my energy. And if it's lower, as I said, I check in and I try to figure out why it's lower. And if it needs to be low that day, that's fine. But sometimes it doesn't have to be. It's just because we're stuck. Like, okay. And so I just have a little chat with myself. Okay, why am I feeling low today? And then I process it and I just try to get it up. And we can do that at any moment. Have a little quick chat with ourselves. Well, I'm feeling low today because I'm tired. Oh, why am I tired? Because I had a busy day at work. Oh, okay. Why is that made me low? Because there was lots to do. But actually, do you know what? There was lots to do and I got it done. And now it's giving me revenue so I can pay my bills. And I can pay my bills. And actually, I'm in a nice warm house while I'm sat here tired.
Yes.
Around in like 10 seconds.
Yes.
But we don't do that. We choose to stay in the No, it's not easy. But yeah, for me, it's about my energy and how I start my day and what I'm saying to myself. It's really catching it, Like, I remember I was coaching somebody and they said something that they gave themselves a really hard time because they knocked over the milk. And I said, and they were calling themselves stupid. And I said, okay, so let's go back a little bit. Like, you ended up knocking over the milk because you were distracted and you were busy because you were having lots of things going on. I said, that just shows me that you're, a busy, successful woman. So it's a good reminder that you knocked over the milk. She was like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm knocking over the milk.
Yes. Yeah.
But we give ourselves such a hard time over the smallest of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's lovely that it happened to be milk, because there's that expression, it's no good crying over spilt milk. So yeah, for her, you're right, she's such a busy, successful woman. Actually, milk is like so important. Yeah. I think that's great. Yeah, I really. So it starts, from what I'm hearing, your success and your everything starts with you.
Yeah, it's all me.
It's setting yourself first with your expectation for the way your day's going to be. And that then ripples out to the people you're working with.
Every day I'm hopeful. And I write gratitudes every day.
Yes.
And, sometimes I write about my gratitude about what's going on in my life, or I write about what I'm grateful for, what's going to happen. Yes. And even that opportunity I told you about, for a couple of months I've been writing, I'm grateful for opportunities that are coming to me. I didn't know what they were.
Yes. Yeah. And when you write your gratitude about a future thing, you don't write it in the future, do you? You write it as if it's here now.
Yeah, but like as I said, the opportunities, I'm grateful for opportunities that are coming to me.
Yes.
So yeah, is in the present. And then I always put thank you at the end.
Yes.
Like 3.
Yeah.
I know some people, they're write 10, do this, do that. For me, 3 is enough,
I agree.
Yeah. But everyone's different.
Yeah. I find a review of the day as well. When I get into bed, I review the day and express gratitude at that point for things that have happened. Yeah,
there's a thing called the gratitude rock. You can go find a rock and you sit and you do that and you hold it at the end of the night and you just hold on to your rock and you just think about everything in that day you were grateful for, and you just put all that
into the
kind
rock,
of energy into your rock, and you keep it next to your bed.
That's beautiful, so that the rock is vibrating at the gratitude frequency.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. Jacqueline, you have been an absolute inspiration. You really have. What I'd like to do is just tell people, where can they find you?
Okay. I am, the easiest one's probably Facebook, if you're on Facebook. Jacqueline Cadger, or my coaching page is Better Life Life Coaching.
Better Life Life Coaching. Okay.
Yeah, I've also got a women's group, which is Better Life Believers. Sure,
Okay.
welcome to join. Free. I pull daily cards on there and try to give everyone some daily mojo.
Oh, lovely. Better Life Believers. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they're very positive and sometimes they're tough love, because, you know, sometimes we just need to kick up the butt.
Yeah.
On Instagram, it's Better Life Believers as well. Or you can get me on my email, which is betterlifebelievers@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Better Life Believers at gmail. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
A great way to start the day.
Absolutely, yeah. And did you pull a card for yourself this morning?
I did pull myself a card this morning. I wrote it down. Let me go get it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pull myself a card every morning. I write it down. This morning, let's see.
Which is the deck that you like? Is it The Universe Has Got Your Back? Is that right?
Has Your Back. Yeah, I use that one. I've also got a couple of other ones. The Power of Love and Oracle ones, which got butterflies on them.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I tried to pull a different one. I've got like 4 sets and I pull one each day. So this morning was the universe has got my back. I pull that one every morning for myself. And it's got, I honor how I want to feel.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Today.
Well, that's a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much. You are like a little spark of light. So go spread your light and your joy, because you do ignite people.
Thank you so much. So kind.
No, it's not kindness, it's honesty. I'm not a flatterer, so it's honesty. So thank you so much. Go off and have a great day, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah. Take care. Bye.
That's a love. Bye.